Hey everybody, Aaron here from the Cool Guys Nation, and welcome to an episode of Hobby Top. Today we are going to be putting together a HobbyZone desk organizer, the workshop edition, and let me show you why. As you can see, things have gotten a little bit out of hand in the cranny of my office. I started to go through all of these drawers because I needed more space for the projects that I'm working on, and all of the drawers were filled with old Magic cards. So I began to reorganize the Magic cards, and I realized that while I love this working space very much, I really need a lot more organization up top, so I have gotten myself a HobbyZone customizable workspace, and we're going to do a quick how to put it together, and then we're going to install it in the office. So let's go ahead and take a look at the HobbyZone. This is the HobbyZone workspace organizer. It is a IKEA-like product that you assemble on your own, but more importantly, it comes apart and can be reorganized. So you can order all sorts of different components to fit it to whatever space you want, and then you can disassemble it. It's held together with magnets and put it back together in a version that works for you. So this is the version that I got. I have standard paint shelves. They don't fit specific bottles. I figured that flat shelves that can hold any bottle is better. A whole bunch of drawers and things like that. So we can see here and here, some shelves and a little display cabinet. So we're gonna go ahead and clean up the office and install this on the desk. Each of your individual components, which all have a pretty base size, that size is about 1 foot by 6 inches, except for the corners and the ends. They're gonna come in an individual box. That box is going to contain everything that you need to assemble each component. First thing I like to do is lay those components out and check the instructions. Those white pieces are the back, and it's very important that you don't lose the magnets. The tools that you will need for this project are thick super glue, kicker, some wood glue. I am using a screwdriver as a knife, a pen, and a hammer. Next, we are going to make sure that we understand how to assemble all the pieces before we begin actually gluing things together. So just pick up your pieces, look at the instructions, and kind of figure out the way that it's going to go together. Next, we need to install the magnets. This is a bit tricky and something that you want to do correctly. The bottoms need to attach to the tops need to attach to the bottoms, the left side needs to attach to the right side needs to attach to the left side, so that you can configure and reconfigure your desk organizer as you see fit. To do this, the first thing we're going to do is label the bottom and the top, as well as the left and the right sides. Installing the magnets on your first piece is by far the most difficult and the easiest place to make a mistake. What you need to do is keep all of your magnets in a column, and you want to mark the top of your column with a pen so that you can always identify which side is which. Then after you place the bottom mark on your panel, go ahead and stick the magnet in facing a particular direction. You've now decided the orientation. To put the magnet in, what we're going to do is we're going to attach the magnet to the bottom of our hammer, and then we are going to place the magnet over the hole, and we're going to put pressure on the hammer to just get the magnet to stick into the hole a little bit. Once it's down, then we're going to hammer it flush. Once we have that first magnet, we're going to double check to make sure that we have the magnet in the same orientation, and we're going to go ahead and stick the next magnet onto the hammer and continue to proceed in the same manner as before. Once you have your magnets set, go ahead and check and make sure that they are aligned properly. And when you put the magnets in the top, you can go ahead and stick it to the bottom, because you know that the bottom is going to stick to the top. And if you have already marked your top and the bottom, you'll know exactly how the orientation is going to go. And then you do the same thing for the left and the right. Remember, don't glue your magnets in. You don't need to glue them. The holes are a press fit. The magnets are going to stay in just fine. And if you do make a mistake and you glue them, then you won't be able to take the magnet back out. So just go ahead and do not glue the magnet. We're going to mark our magnets again. Then we're going to check and make sure that it attaches to the bottom. We know that the top and the bottom are going to need to attach to each other. So we flip the top over, and then the side that we marked, we're going to do face down, and we're just going to go ahead and press fit those magnets right into the top, and they should align properly. Once you have both magnets in, just go ahead and attach the top to the bottom and make sure they fit properly. It's now time to do the same thing for the left and the right side. So go ahead and press the left and the right magnet in and make sure that they are facing the same direction. Again, we're going to be press fitting and we are not going to be using glue. The side labeled left and the side labeled right will be attaching to each other. So fit your magnet in, pay attention to your orientation, and then stick the magnet on the reverse side from where you wrote left. Once again, we're going to be using the hammer. So go ahead and after you make sure that your magnet is aligned properly, attach a single magnet to the bottom of your hammer, press it in, and then hammer it down flat. Before moving on to assembly, make sure that your magnets are attached properly. You should be able to press the side labeled left and the side labeled right together, and they should stick nicely. If they do, then you are ready to assemble your first shelf. Assembling the shelves at this point is pretty straightforward. You're going to be running beads of glue across the surfaces that meet each other. Now, the instructions ask for you to use wood glue, and wood glue is very good, very solid. However, it takes a long time to dry. So I decided to use thick super glue, and it works fantastic. We're going to use a lot of super glue, but it does work really well. So one by one, we are going to be assembling the pieces and making sure that they all fit together, just putting super glue and kicker on the sides that touch each other. It is important to note that for putting the shelves in the middle, you don't want to glue both your left and right side in at the same time. You want to glue one side in, then place the shelf and the corresponding side in at the same time, and glue all three of those pieces at once. And there you have it. Your first box is put together. Now you just have to put together as many more as you have ordered. And once you have one put together with the magnets aligned in the proper direction, you can use that as a reference to check your magnets for all the other pieces, and it makes it very easy for assembly after that. Just remember to label your top and bottom left and right. Always double check your magnets. And again, don't glue in your magnets. So if you do make a mistake, you can go ahead and just pop it out and flip the orientation. Overall, I found this system not too complicated to build. The instructions themselves are a bit limited. I feel like they could expand the instructions. I did make a couple mistakes here and there. I wound up gluing some shelves in by mistake that I had to go back and disassemble and then reassemble, and I did make some mistakes with magnets, but fortunately I didn't, as I've said many times, glue any of them in. So overall, it was a really great experience putting it together. By the last half, so like the last 6 or 7, I was able to get each section put together in 15 to 20 minutes, depending on whether it had drawers. Some of the ones that had 6 drawers took a little bit longer to put together. My first one took me about 45 minutes to an hour, but once I got the hang of it, I was able to assemble it much faster, and overall, this product is fantastic. I'm really enjoying it. It adds a tremendous amount of usable space to my desk and also keeps everything very well organized. I also like that if at any point I want to expand, contract, change, or do add-ons, I can just go ahead and move them around. That's really wonderful. So if you are looking for desk organization, strongly recommend you take a look at the HobbyZone customizable desk organizer. All right, we got it installed. It's looking good. And now I just got to put everything away. Hey. So I'm going to go do that. And you guys can watch another video. Maybe a battle report. Until next time, this has been Aaron from the Cool Guys Nation.